Well, hello there. It's me again. More breaking news. After I just did one about the TV rights going off of USA Network, Raw and NXT going off the USA Network, and SmackDown going to the USA Network. We've now got more breaking news. I'm a little bit out of breath because I just had to run back and forth from the studios to grab the camera tripod, and also the podcast is happening right now. Doesn't matter. Point is, Mustafa Ali is gone from WWE. This comes from the wrestler himself, who put onto X, Twitter, whatever you want to call it. He originally put, "I am longer working with WWE. I look forward to the future. Thank you, a deal," and then clarified he meant no longer, which is a very unfortunate typo. But regardless, he is no longer working with WWE, and he looks forward to the future. This is interesting because he seemed to be starting up. He was in the middle of like this rivalry in NXT, being upset that Dragon Lee is going to be getting his North American title shot against Dominic Mysterio on Raw next week sooner than Ali because he won the number one contendership. So that seemed like a feud that was ongoing. It doesn't feel like this was foreshadowed in any way. But this also is not the first time that Ali has wanted to leave WWE either, as it was in, I believe, January of 2022 when he requested his release, which was eventually denied, which was a real kick in the dick at the time, because there were a bunch of other releases that had happened in the past couple of years. So when it feels like someone who wanted their release and wanted to leave the company when they were in cost-cutting mode, felt like they probably should have honored that, but they didn't. Ali's career has been an interesting one in his role in 205 Live, his call up to the main roster. He's had one of the most interesting what ifs in WWE history. Because when he came up, he was touted for really big things. You know, he pinned Daniel Bryan clean when Daniel Bryan was WWE champion. It looked like he was going to be touted for huge things going into WrestleMania 35, but then he got injured and was replaced in the gauntlet match with Kofi Kingston. And of course, Kofi Kingston then went on to win and have Kofi Mania and everything. It also looked like he was lined up to line Money in the Bank, but then at the last minute, Brock Lesnar came in and won the briefcase. So he's come close to superstardom a couple of times, or the main event scene a couple of times, and then after that they just never used him. Every so often he'd come in and be a face, every so often he'd come in and be a heel. He occasionally teased certain gimmicks on Twitter and things like that, but then none of them came to fruition on screen. There's loads of different things that could have happened with Mustafa Ali and his whole WWE tenure, but now it looks like all of that has come to an end. Maybe that move down to NXT looked like it might have been kind of the start of something new for him. You know, potentially getting to do those gimmicks that he wanted to do originally and give him kind of a new lease in life on his WWE career. But it looks like now this is not the case anymore. What Ali does from here, I don't know. I think he's a very talented wrestler. The natural discussion will be, should he go to AEW? And, sure, why not? I'm sure he could have some really good matches over there. Would he be best used there? I don't know. Could we see him joining Impact, New Japan, a couple of these other places? Certainly. I don't see why not. I think that more than anything, Ali really wants to play a character. If anything is to be believed from his Twitter posts and all the stuff that he's done on there, it seems like to me he really wants to portray characters on screen more than anything, and a place that allows him to flourish in that kind of character imagination aspect, wherever that is probably going to be the best place for him if he wants to keep wrestling. Who knows what the future holds for him, but it feels like he never truly got his time to shine in WWE. Always came really, really close, but then never really reached those heights that we always thought he could. Because I was watching quite religiously at the time when he was called up and started featuring on SmackDown, and we were all really excited because this was fresh new face. He's becoming impactful right off the bat. There's loads of really cool stuff that's happening with Ali on the main roster, but then that all kind of just faded away into nothingness. And then again, when they had the gauntlet match, it could be the case that Kofi Kingston took over Mustafa Ali's spot, not just in the gauntlet match, but at WrestleMania and all the plans that they had for him. If Ali was going to win, that's something, that could be a thing that was potentially lined up for WrestleMania 35. Or it could be that, Daniel Bryan was going to retain, but Kofi Mania became so big that they just, they decided that actually we're going to move the title onto Kofi Kingston. I don't know. But it's very interesting to think about that, you know, if it was originally supposed to be Ali that was lined up for that spot for Mania 35, that it could have been a potential WWE champion that then became absolutely nothing, that they just moved on and now he's gone from the company. It just feels very, very strange to have all of this happening at the same time. Amongst all of the other chat about all of the network deals and all of the other stuff that's happening, it's all happening in one day, which is really great for us. I'm just going to refresh just in case there's anything else that's happened here. No, it doesn't look like it. It's just because my chances are that I'm going to stop recording and I'm going to upload this video, and then more breaking news will happen. But as I said in my last breaking news video, any sort of breaking news, if you want the latest on wrestling news, the place to go is WrestleTalk.com, because we will be updating the website with any news that breaks through every day. We have people working 24/7, so yeah, they'll be up as soon as the news breaks. We will have someone writing an article about it. So if you want the latest, WrestleTalk.com is the place to go. But if you want it in video format, then subscribe here, obviously. If it's your first time here, by the way, hi, I'm Pete. Probably should have done that at the start. I'm a bit discombobulated. If it's your first time here, please do subscribe, like the video. We do daily wrestling news videos here on WrestleTalk, if you didn't know. And I've now done 3 of them today, about like the injuries that happened on Dynamite yesterday and the network stuff that happened just before this, and now Mustafa Ali's release. There's no indication currently. I can't see anything online currently about this being like new spat of releases, because there was chat last week with the merger happening. They obviously laid off 100+ employees as part of like their company-wide layoffs. I haven't seen any indication currently that this is the start of a wave of mass releases or anything that's happening right now. Chances are, now that I've said that, that's exactly what's happening, so I'll probably be back later. But there's no indication that I can see currently that that's what's happening. So this does appear to be currently an isolated case. So we shouldn't be worried about more people getting released. Unless it happens, in which case we should. But regardless, thank you, Dan, for the petty laughs.
Great sentence. Well, you basically said, this is probably it, but it's also probably not. See you in a bit.
Unless it is, in which case see you in a bit. Yeah,
sure.
That's pretty much it. Anyway, thank you guys for watching this breaking news video. I'll probably be back with more if there's more breaking news that happens, which there might be from the looks of the day. But thank you so much. I've been Pete Quinnell. Please do subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and like the video. We'll be back with more news. We've got a news video tomorrow, which will probably be wrapping up all of this stuff in a much more digestible and fun format, because it's Laurie doing the news and he's fun. So subscribe and check out the news video for tomorrow for all the latest, and check WrestleTalk.com for the immediate news as well. I've been Pete Quinnell. Goodbye.